about the history behind the readings at this time of year. We're reading from the book of Kings. This is after King David. So if you think of King David in your timeline, I always put King David right about the year 1000 before Christ. A full millennium before Christ, King David. And then he's succeeded by Solomon. And then there's a divided kingdom between the north, Israel, and the south, Judah. And it gets all confusing, right? If you don't realize that all of a sudden now we're really talking about the people of God being separated into these two rival cousins or brothers. The northern kingdom of Israel, the 10 tribes in the north, and then the tribe of Judah and Benjamin in the south. And there's this tension going on. And all of this is in a bigger context of world history. We may not always be able to place some of these nations, so I was going to go over a few of them today. Great ancient empires. And there are tons of them, but the ones you'd most recognize from the perspective of Israel and Judah, who are right there, as we know, on the western side of the Mediterranean, to their southwest. So if you're looking at me, I guess down here to the southwest would be Egypt. And then up to the northwest were the Hyksos and eventually the Hittites. You hear about the Hittites in the northwest, what we call Turkey today. There were to the north and to the northeast, Assyria was the great empire. And they were brutal. They were known even today as like the most brutal and cruel people ever. And then, of course, further to the east is Babylonia and eventually Persia, that succeeds the Babylonian Empire. So if you kind of situate them, what you see is little Israel and Judah, this smallest of all nations that the Bible talks about. They're in the land of Canaan or Palestine. And they're surrounded by these great powers. And they're at the crossroads where all of those competing forces are constantly trying to do battle. The Egyptians are trying to move north along the trading routes. And the Assyrians are trying to move and take over the great breadbasket of Egypt. And so poor Israel is right there, the people of God, at the crossroads of those competing interests. And if you situated that geographically and in the course of world history, then you kind of understand a little bit of the historical background to the readings today. They're feeling like, well, whose side are we going to be on? Do we go down and try to get support from Egypt against Assyria? Do we try to make peace with Assyria so they don't destroy us? And of course, everybody has a different opinion. For the northern tribes, this eventually comes to an end in about the year 722 before Christ, when Assyria finally overruns the northern tribes and takes them off into exile. Judah and the southern tribes, or Benjamin and Judah, they hold out, and eventually they're conquered by the empire of Babylon and the exile that we know as the Babylonian exile in 587. So that's just a little bit of the dates, peoples, and geography.